It's a Merry Christmas to all our viewers all over the world. I'm Ken Ochonogo, and this is Channel Sport on Sunday. It is that day that you said it is Celebration Sunday. What else can't you celebrate today? We're celebrating Christmas. We're celebrating the birth of Christ. We're celebrating a new life. But above all, before we left here, 7 days ago, yes, we're saying, is it going to be the goat or the goat? And as you all know, yes, it is a confirmation of the goat. So we are celebrating it is the last Sunday of 2022. So we are celebrating all that is sports in 2022. We're celebrating, we're starting from home. I know you want me to start from Argentina, from Buenos Aires. I told you this. Where will the dancing be taking place? Will it taking place in Paris or will it taking place in Buenos Aires? Yes, a lot of dancing, a lot of partying, a lot of wild things have been happening rather in the streets of Buenos Aires because, yes, it has come home after 36 years. There is one destination where football is always going home. It's coming home in 1996. It didn't go there. It's coming home in 2021. It didn't go there. But this time around, football went home. It went back to where it went in 1986. And in 2022, after the iconic Maradona lifted it, then another man, the man we said, he was a nearly man. He couldn't move from his club. He couldn't win the Copa America. He couldn't win the World Cup. All those things were the things that prevented them from saying he is the GOAT. But today, for those who not just love football, but love the beautiful game itself as it is played. Yes, Messi is on the lips of everybody. But like I said, today we are going to celebrate with you guys at home. Normally we do it this way. When it comes to issues like this, when it comes to times like this, we don't keep it to ourselves. You keep us going, and then we must get you involved, fully involved on this show today. So you are going to tell us if the GOAT issue has been settled. Has it been settled now? Or there is still that issue of 3 World Cup? Unfortunately, Okpe is not here today to give the other side of the view. Okpe is not on the show. I don't know. Probably he can join us from anywhere he is. Okpe, where are you? Please be part of this show because we need that balancing act. We need that thing that you want to give us to, that when we say, okay, it is 3 and not 1. But then you look at other indices that are involved in the making of the GOAT. Is this just the ultimate? You just say the World Cup is the gold medal. You just say the other ones are silver or bronze medals. Or do you say, fine, what of the Ballon d'Or? Do you count that? What of the Champions League? Do you count that? The Copa America? Do you do all this? Because a lot of the other GOATs didn't win the Copa America. A lot of the other GOATs didn't win the Champions League. And they played at these other venues. But then there is this other GOAT that is supposed to be a GOAT until now. He moved from Sporting Lisbon to Manchester United. From Manchester United, he went to Real Madrid. From Real Madrid, he went to Juventus. And back to Manchester United. And they said, look, everywhere he went, he has conquered. Could you also do that? And then these are the stories. And then when it is subjective, it becomes your own personal opinion. It becomes your own personal take. And that is the issue of the GOAT. But I want to start from the beginning. I want to start from home. My charity starts from Nigeria because 2022 was the beautiful year of Tobi Amusan. It was the year that the world record was broken. It is the year that we are saying it is a wonderful year of her and us. The Catalan is in the house. Merry Christmas to you.
Ken, Merry Christmas. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling right now. You should have seen me on Sunday.
Yeah, I know.
You should have seen me on Sunday. Yeah. I was everywhere.
Yeah.
I was just in the one spot, but I was everywhere.
Is the GOAT issue settled now?
Literally, well, the GOAT issue was settled a long time ago. But then I want to revert something you said.
Yeah.
Say you need a player here to give some form of balance. Are you saying I will not give balance? I don't understand.
In addition that you are the interested party, I don't think you can give the balance.
Ken, see,
yes.
Lionel Messi has won at least every single tournament he has participated in now.
Yeah.
He has won a trophy.
Fact, yes.
That is the fact. Anybody can say, oh, he didn't do it in the Premier League, he didn't do it. If I ask a lot of people who the greatest defender of all time is, people mention Paolo Maldini. Maldini stayed in one club almost all throughout his career.
Yeah.
So
Franco Baresi, Ryan Giggs.
A lot of one club men. Ryan Giggs is the most decorated player that has ever played in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know, of all time till date. He only played for one club. So Lionel Messi, on the other hand, it's been one heartbreak after another heartbreak after another heartbreak. Imagine losing 3 finals in a row and deciding to call it quits. I think that was back then in 2016. And then Enzo Fernandez, who was about 12 or 13 years old, 10, sent him a very touching message on Facebook saying that, please do not go. The whole world forgets sometimes that you are a human being after all, and that you carry the brunt of all of these things on your shoulder. Everybody wants you to do this. You know, it was not just about Argentina, it was about Lionel Messi. Ken, after Argentina won
You mentioned Enzo Fernandez.
Yes. After Lionel Messi, after Argentina won the World Cup on Sunday, they flew back to Buenos Aires, and Ken, when they landed by 1:30 a.m. in the morning, the airport was full. There was literally no space. After 3 days, Paulo Dybala said, I'm dead. So in the last 3 days, I've been slept for 6 hours. Because 4 million people came out on the streets to celebrate with this Argentine team. At a point, they even had to use an helicopter
to lift them up.
Because there was literally no way. This is what football means to these people. A lot of people were asking, where is Messi, where is Messi, where is Messi? Yeah, I found Messi now.
I tell you, this is the most wonderful time of the year. And then, like we said, it is the most wonderful year for Lionel Messi. It is the most wonderful year, yes, for Tobi Amusan. It is the most wonderful year for Real Madrid. They picked on at the Champions League, you know, extending that record. I don't know if any club will ever catch them in that. It is just their tough. They just come in and do what they want to do, just like a house. You know, the wonderful year for Channels Television. We keep on being the best that we are, and then so it is a wonderful year for us all here, and that is what we want to do. We want to come to you guys, and then when it's time, let us know your most wonderful moment of 2022. Like we said, has that issue been settled, or do we still have that debate? Because there is still that issue of somebody winning 3 World Cups and somebody winning 1. Is that enough to say, okay, you have not done, you cannot, because there is no way this man can win 3. He's already 35. So I mean, whether by 39 or is it 43 years old, is it coming here to come and just put on the dish we gave to him and say, use that one, you know, to guide it there. But then it is a wonderful year for 3SC because they went all there and the president, they collected 100 million. But then it is also a wonderful year and a wonderful time, you know, for Festus Austin and players of Rivers United, because the governor just said, I promised you something. I didn't put a figure on it, but I said as at Friday by between 4:30 p.m. or so, they started hearing bing, 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 bing on their phones. It was the alert. The alert, when you have a alert of $20,000, how do you feel? How do you celebrate? That is what happened to Rivers United players. And I tell you, they are in the 9th heaven. They are above the 7th heaven now. It is a celebration right there in Port Harcourt, and that is where we are saying it is a wonderful year. We are going to look at it. Before they join us, we're going to have the captain of Rivers United join us on this show. We're going to have the king of North join us from Kaduna. They are all getting ready. When they get ready, we shall bring them on. But now, let us see the welcoming party. We told you here that Argentina, France, Croatia, Morocco, in that order, $42 million goes to Argentina. $30 million goes to France. $27 million goes to Croatia, and your own Morocco, my own Morocco, our own Morocco, they are going home. They came back, not are going home, they came back home with $25 million. You don't beat that. Nigeria, where are we? Ghana said, stay at home. And by doing that, Ghana went home with $9 million plus 1.5. That is $10.5 million. We are thinking that probably in the next years, there they are. That is how. That is the ranking. That is the ranking.
Ken, very, very interesting figures. I remember Okwe saying on the show that if Nigeria were to win the World Cup, I think the prize money will be equivalent to 11 years worth of NFL projects as gotten from the ministry, you know. But that's what you get when you put in serious planning. I always say you don't win anything by accident, whether you like it or not. Ken, Angel Di Maria scored in the World Cup final.
Yes.
If you remember, in was it 2008? At the Olympics,
yes.
Angel Di Maria scored in the final that helped Argentina lift the gold,
okay.
You know, and the Olympic gold that year. So that was in Beijing. A lot of these players have been in the pipeline. They've been with this squad for a very, very long time. Sergio Aguero couldn't join them to lift the trophy, at least as a player, because of one or two obvious reasons that we know about. But he was there with them on the pitch. But looking at these figures, qualifying for the World Cup alone, you know how much you're going to get, $10.5 million. Hopefully, we get to attend, or we get to participate in the next Mondial holding in 2026. Sanjo said something like 2 or 3 weeks ago when he joined us, and he said, if you didn't even come to this World Cup already, based on what is currently going on, the trends that have been set at this World Cup, you are already behind. So you are literally playing catch. You are literally playing catch up, you know, with the rest of the world. Hopefully we get to go to the next one. But it was a good one for Argentina. So sad that France couldn't do the double. A lot of people are saying Kylian Mbappe going to lift the World Cup 2 times in a row. And then,
why the two contending goals?
Yeah, but I said something like before I left last week. Yeah. Those that finished first the last time out, yeah, we finished second this time around, and that was exactly what happened. So unfortunate, but with the way that young man played on that day, if you have a very good support cast around you, see, it's a team sport. I've said this multiple times. One man cannot carry a team all the way. To get to a point in that tournament, your team will have to play for you.
But that's what you said.
Exactly.
Last Sunday, I remember, I can recall you saying, if the support cast plays
as long as they
for
turn
Messi.
Up, once they play for Messi. And that was exactly what happened. Even with France, it almost got to that point. Kylian Mbappe was silenced up until the first goal that France scored. They didn't have a shot on target. I imagine the coach having to take up Ousmane Dembele and Olivier Giroud, guys that have started literally almost all the games of the tournament in the first half.
Giroud with 4 World Cup goals.
You understand that? Now, and this is because they weren't giving him what he wanted. And it's not he introduced other players into the squad. Kingsley Coman, who would naturally always bomb up front, came back. He won the ball from Messi. I gifted France their second goal, which was the beautiful goal from Kylian Mbappe, if you ask me. One of the goals of the tournament, if you ask me. You know, that one where he hit the ball, yeah, you know, that bicycle style and all of that. But the players needed to step up for Kylian to actually step up himself and then deliver. And he scored a hat-trick in the World Cup, unprecedented. Has anybody ever scored a World Cup hat-trick before?
Yeah, Jeff Hurst.
Okay, Jeff Hurst, okay.
1966.
Oh, okay. That was the one in England. Oh, very good, okay. But
it was a hat-trick that gave them the World Cup.
The World Cup.
Yeah, they had you score a hat-trick in the World Cup and not win the World Cup.
That's because people you're coming up against just what's their day. And then you also have to talk about Emiliano Martinez. Ken, that last save in the 123rd minute.
Yes.
My heart.
That was the save.
Was in my mouth. But you know what? He has this confidence. And he says, let's get to penalties. And you'll see what will happen.
But recall that he did that same save. Was it against Australia?
Against Holland, the Netherlands.
Is it Netherlands? That all the players jumped on him.
Yes.
They were two goals up. Exactly. He came to 2-1 down, and then they were struggling to survive.
Ken, you need to see, it happened at the Copa America as well, against Colombia. And he was literally looking at Yorimina and telling him, I know where you are going to play this ball. I know it. And the mind games was just overwhelming. He got the ball, he throws it away. Was it Chumeni now? Or goes, picks it up, and comes and he plays it out wide. He might not be the most loved man on the planet right now because of his antics.
He went. Did he go overboard? Did he went beyond?
Yeah, I think
sportsmanship.
Exactly. I think in that sense, I would be a hypocrite if I say he did it. I feel it's my own personal opinion though. I think he did, but it's not unheard of. Footballers are known to bant at each other.
Terrible things are not unheard of.
It doesn't make it a norm. It doesn't make it
exactly.
Right. So, but I feel he went overboard. And then again, his coach has said when he gets back, he'll talk to him. I think that's Una Emery.
Yeah,
when he gets back, he said he will talk to him and basically make him understand, okay, fine, this is not the way to go. You know, show sportsmanship and all of that. Whether we like it or not, Ken, he's a world champion. That's what really matters.
No, we like it. Forget it or not. I tell you, you are seeing them, like we said, the French national team, back-to-back finalists, and it is not easy, I tell you this. They also have something in common with Croatia. Sometimes you don't look at these things until you really take, you know, a kind of a second look on it. And then it tells you what. In 1998, France won their first World Cup at home. Croatia was a team that came third. They picked the bronze. It was a debut. and that was the Croatia Davoshuka. That was the Croatia that stormed the world, and you can't take that away. In 2018, France again won their second World Cup. Who did they beat in the finals? It was the Croatians. And here again, what France getting to the final, and who again took talk, it is also the Croatians. So they're like Siamese twins. The Croatians have been to the World Cup final 6 times, and 3 times they've gotten at least a bronze medal. Nigeria, where we did. We'll answer that question soon, because Motsape says, if there is an African country that will win the World Cup, and that is not just in the too far, just in the nearest of futures, which is in the 4 years from now, when the United States of America, Canada to this side, and Mexico to this side come together to host the world in 2026, that Niger, our Niger, it will be our time. But let's start putting our house in order there, because sometimes you say dreams die first.
What did he see that made him say that? We need to understand that a couple of people told me because of our bilateral relationships, and we would go to the World Cup in Qatar. Maybe we probably have a stronger bilateral relationship with the United States, and we'll be there. But
he looked at the indices, like I said. He looked at our population. Nigeria was the first team in Africa to win any FIFA tournament in 1985, when the Nduka Badi-led boys went there to win the Under-16 tournament in Russia, and I think USSR then. We were the first to win the Olympic gold medal in 1996. Nobody gave us that chance. So there is something about Nigeria. There is something about Nigeria.
Again, when we talk about all of these things, yes, it's amazing and all, but it's not by how far we come, it's how well we've been able to perform. They say it's not just about knowing it, show workings. Yeah. How are you going about
that is exactly,
achieving all of this?
We don't even know how to do it. Because we have won the Under-16, Under-17 more than any nation in the world. Yes. But we don't have a youth league.
My point exactly.
So how are we doing
show workings.
It defies logic.
What policies have we put in place to ensure that, okay, fine, we can go all
without
out.
those policies, we'll be winning.
Okay.
That is the issue.
Now people that actually have policies are actually legitimately going out and winning the big ones.
Yes.
Again, France played in their first final, correct me if I'm wrong, in 1998.
Yes.
And since then, they've gone on to play.
No, okay. No, they didn't play in 38. No. I think they didn't. I'm trying to remember if they were the people that Italy beat in 38.
After the Uruguay won. In 1998, France won their first World Cup. And since then, they've gone on to play 3 other finals.
Yes.
So when the finals in 2006, they lost. And the finals in 2018, they won. And then when the finals in 2022, and they lost again. That shows you some form of consistency. We were on the phone, I think, with Leo last week from Germany, and he said we have been able to identify the issues with the German national team. Our backline is not as strong.
Yeah, Mario.
So, exactly. So what's going to happen moving forward, since they have identified the problem, is to solve it. The youth development side of their league begin to train up players defensively who would at least cushion the effects of the negative impact that their lack of defense used to affect them in this present World Cup, and probably even in previous ones, because Germany hasn't really been doing that well. Okay, we've seen the Germans over time, they've been doing really, really well, but up until recently, they began to falter. The Spaniards too, the same thing. You don't plan, you don't fail to plan and expect to go all out there and go and impress. No. Morocco didn't finish 4th by accident. I predicted that Morocco will go far in the tournament.
Yes,
because I had watched the players, I had seen them play, I've been following a couple of things they've been doing right back at home.
But even Morocco, in fact, the Moroccan coach was the last coach to be appointed.
Yes, exactly.
So it wasn't as if they were getting it right.
Yeah, when we went out, there's a reason why a coach that's not from a certain nation has not won the World Cup, whether we like it or not. There are times whereby we see situations whereby they go all out there and then okay, what's the word I'm looking for now? It's more or less like that commitment, that passion is not there. Okay, let me give you this example. I talked about Saudi Arabia and Javi Renard. You speak French, you speak English, trying to communicate to the players who speak mainly Arabic. You have a translator. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying it's unheard of. But it's very difficult to convey the passion that this man is feeling to the player the way he would want to convey it.
But the different Argentina.
And after that, what happened? Then we went in 2013. Nigeria won the Nations Cup. The last time we won the Nations Cup.
Yeah.
And names like Sunday.
That's the Moroccans.
Exactly. Godfrey Obuabuna. These names are forever etched in my memory. You know why? When was the last time we had players from our league? We had a coach that was in love with the league. We had a coach that had played in the league. We had a coach that was willing to go out there and watch these boys. Do you know what it means for your national team coach to be in the stadium watching these players? Everybody steps up their game because it's an automatic ability for you to get into the national team. We don't seem to have all of this anymore, Ken.
I agree with you. But like I said, there are, you see, the road to success, cannot, how do I say it? There are different ways to success. Because exactly,
whether we like it or not.
So that is exactly what I'm talking about the Moroccans. And look at how many of the Moroccans were born outside the country. They were not even doing. It's like they just have affinities.
But whenever they come back to their nation, they have standard pitches to train.
Exactly. That is it. So see, we don't even train. Even as at time we're successful. Of course, we go to Port Harcourt to train. We go to Obasanjo farms to train. A few of those places that was okay, fine. You have standard pitches that you want to train in. But then we used to go to Faro. It's in Portugal that we go to. You understand?
But you need access to world-class facilities that will make you go out there and compete with guys who have access to these things every other day of the week. So, again, it doesn't happen by accident, whether we like it or not.
It doesn't happen by accident. We are still waiting to see if we can bring in our guests in, if they are ready. We're going to Port Harcourt, we're going to Kaduna, so that they can join this show. But then, I don't know if we can get, okay, of course, I'm being told that let us just get this round off and then we can bring them in.
The success of Morocco, and I say this with respect, is not by coincidence. Morocco, and let me say this, it's many African countries should learn from Morocco and be inspired by Morocco's investment, young boys and girls facilities. It helps to have a king who really loves. I mean, I was really excited when they sent me videos of the king walking in the street, King Mohammed VI, may God assist him, being in the car in the streets it was Casablanca, ne? It was in Rabat, yeah, after they won. Beautiful. I want to encourage also heads of states and presidents to do the same. It's a unique moment of pride and patriotism, and football gives us dignity as well. We don't have the technology that many of the Western economies have, because they've invested over many years. We'll get there, but on the football pitch, we compete with the best, and we use the success there to inspire a young boy or girl. And if Drogba, Eto'o, and all of the special players can succeed on the football field, I can also succeed and be a scientist, an engineer, a technologist. So football is key. So what I'm saying is that, I mean, in Algeria as well, there's good work that's been done. In Egypt, excellent work. The president of Ghana is doing very good work. Senegal, President Macky Sall.
You had what Motsepe almost echoed what you were saying.
Yes.
Preparation. King Mohammed VI, has done so well for Morocco, putting his pocket where his mouth is.
Exactly. Yami always says something on this show. He says until we get men that are ready to use their money to fund the sports, and not the sports funding their pockets, we would not go far. And when we get to that point where people are willing to put themselves on the line so that they can see our football move to the glory days that we once used to see, like, consistently, I think we would really go far. Because there's a reason why the English have been winning almost every single major youth championship for the past 5-6 years. And that's because they put in the work. When they built up St. George's Park in 2012, it was with the intention to dominate football over the next couple of years. And we've seen England play in the semi-finals of the World Cup. I've seen them play in the quarter-finals of the World Cup. And play in the finals of the Euros. Yeah. You understand? It would have been really sad if this Argentine team with Lionel Messi had not won any major tournaments. But then again, that's what happens when you have easily or obviously one of the greatest players of all time playing.
But Argentina, I think we also look at that. So sometimes I look at Nigeria and say we have hope.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the South Americans, I think it is the talent that takes them there. Because they have, in Brazil, they have this chaotic league system that you can't understand. The Sao Paulo system, the league, this one league, that one league.
And their football culture is really, really intense.
So I think that is because it is a culture. They love that the South Americans have.
But even with that, there's a reason why Europe has been dominating the World Cup for a very long time.
Yes.
Since the last time a South American team won a barring Sunday was in 2002. Yeah. And that was 20 years ago. It's been Europeans all the way.
Because you have about five South American teams competing with about 12 European teams all the time. The odds favor Europe to win this.
Even the odds might favor them.
Yes.
But then again, you need to understand that they are very, very deliberate about how far they want to go. Okay, see, when you put things in place and you are making sure, okay, for instance, now Morocco made it to the third place, or they finished fourth. Sorry. More African teams begin to put things in place like this, setting up infrastructures, setting up centers whereby kids can go out there, play the game, get proper coaching. Your staff are trained. You don't necessarily need to rely on people from outside to come and get the job done for you. It's like a coefficient system. When you do well, it increases. It doesn't happen by accident now.
I agree, but like I said, France didn't, from 1938 to until when they hosted after Italy won 34-38. I mean, it took them from 38 to 1998. It's about 60 good years for them to. All right, for them to cool. Okay, I'm being told that we can now. Our guests can join us now. Are we going to Port Harcourt? Okay, we are going to. Oh no, I think that is Port Harcourt. Because I'm seeing Festus there, Austin Festus. Okay, I'm also. But that is Maurice. Maurice is in Kaduna. But so where do we go? Okay, let's take Maurice before we take Austin. Festus, who is ready there. Hello, the king of the north. We apology for keeping you there all this while. We've been seeing you, but I think let's hear you. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and I'm doing fine, and I must say, it was nice listening to everything that both of you have been saying, particularly when you narrowed it down to the Nigerian angle. When you narrowed it down to the Nigerian angle and to the success of the Moroccan side, vis-a-vis what we should be doing from after winning the Under-17 World Cup, what we have been doing correctly and what we have not done rightly. Now, you have to look at several things that we have done that has kept us where we are, and then you look at where what Morocco has been doing that has taken Morocco to where they are. Now, credit where due. I think you dropped a very strong point as well. It took France around 60 years plus to finally lift the World Cup in 1998 when they hosted. God forbid, because if it's going to take 60 years for Nigeria to win the World Cup, I'm not sure Ken Ochonogo will still be alive by then. But on a very, very serious note, I really think the Moroccan situation is an eye-opener for us. Morocco is not a dominant force when it comes to African youth football. They are not a dominant force when it comes to African, African Cup of Nations. But what Morocco have been able to achieve over the past few years has been magnificent. You look at it in African club football, they're on top. Now in African football, they have gotten to a stage where no African team has reached before. So it tells you something about the Moroccans. They were intentional. They built their way towards it. It didn't happen by accident. Opening the Center of Excellence, the King Mohammed, the 6th sporting complex, and everything just fell in place for the Moroccan. So just like the CAF president said, other African teams need to borrow a leaf from Morocco. It's unfortunate, Ken. I don't know if I can actually say this. Forgive me for anybody who might feel hurt by this statement. I felt like, and I still stand by that statement, that we wasted 8 years with Amadou Pinnick and his gang. We wasted 8 years. Because the same funding we got was the same funding that Morocco got. But right now, you can't mention 4 years ago, Morocco couldn't even make it to the World Cup. 4 years ago, we won every single game en route qualifying to the World Cup to the extent that we qualified for the World Cup. Spare. At that same instance, we were whipping every team in Africa. But what did we do 4 years from then? How far have we gone? The answer is right there in our faces. We can't even make it to the World Cup. Get knocked out in the first round of the AFCON. You see why I say may Amadou Pinnick not happen to Nigeria again.
Okay, Maurice. Let's hold it there. Let's go to Port Harcourt because something is happening in Port Harcourt. Something is happening in Port Harcourt, and we have the captain of Rivers United. Austin, I'm sorry, we kept you waiting also for all this while, but I know that it is a Christmas mood, and then Mowi says something before you give us the big story. You played against with that Casablanca, and then you were in Morocco yourself with your team. Can you just give us a pinch of what you guys saw? Did you anticipate that Morocco will get to the semi-finals of the World Cup based on what you saw? What the kind of facilities in Morocco, the kind of football culture that they have, the fans that came out to cheer their team compared to when they came to play you in Port Harcourt? Can you just give an insight of what it was like going to Morocco to play with that Casablanca?
Yes, when we were in Morocco, it was a different board game, you see, and as you know in Nigeria, that we always face a turn-up of crowd. We have less number of crowd that do come to the stadium and share us up. But we were in Morocco, it was a massive turnout for the home team, WADA. I think we, the players, were so happy with the atmosphere. And as you earlier understand, that everybody's heart is not the same. There are some that will have a soft heart because of the environment they find themselves.
Yes, yeah. Go on.
So it is always a thing that it can affect players' performance. And we going to Morocco, we were believing we were going to get it right, but due to the game, we were unlucky. We got a red card in the first half, and I think Morocco really taught us a lesson that is going to go a long way in our careers.
Okay, it is Christmas Day, so I want to see a smile on your face. Don't think about Morocco now. You guys overcame that one, and then you are in Confederation Cup. But then something is happening. You guys are having a bumper Christmas. What has been happening in the last 2 days to you and your teams, you and your colleagues in Port Harcourt? Can you let the world know what is happening to Rivers United, their players, and their coaching staff?
Yes, as you have heard before now, like it's everywhere on social media, and it's not a new thing. But from my mouth, I just want to say, yeah, like me, I'm extra happy because I'm very overwhelmed. Because when the number one supporter, which is the Excellency, the POS of Africa, His Excellency Yeso Wike, the governor of Rivers State, when he promised us that he's going to give us $20,000, I do see series of calls on my phone. People will be saying his audio money, that we are not going to, his politics, this and that. I will tell them that I am in this state. I have served this state for 14 years, but I have not seen a governor like Governor Yeso Wike. Because before he came aboard, there was a bill that they were holding us then. He came aboard and he cleared all the OB. Up to date now, he has been making all our entitlement available for us. As you can see, the teams show up in the team, like seeing the team in the continent for almost 4 occasions in a short years now. And we are looking forward to get to the Confederation Cup finals. We couldn't get it right in the Champions League. As you can see, he did not even end up there. He still...
Hello.
If you see a governor that can task for it, it's not easy. It's very difficult to find it here in Africa. But he always do this thing. Immediately after the game, they will hand over the $100,000 to me if we win. But we were lucky we couldn't get it right in Morocco because football is a short-term business. Like, it's a short-term career that you just need to make what you have to make now. Then there is a life after football. So if we have people like this encouraging the local league, I think we are going to go a long way. I will keep on thanking
is
His
Christmas.
Excellency.
Yes, first of all, this is Christmas. Can you tell us how the players are feeling? How do you camp? You guys, I know that you are in camp. You're always in camp. Tell us the mood yes. there. How you and your colleagues when you were hearing the bing bing on your phone. You understand when the alert was coming in? How?
Sir, you know, like a local league player.
Yeah.
Governor Wike, what he have done to a local league player is that he have given a local league player a hope that he can become somebody in life.
Okay.
Did you know that this is the first time of maybe some of the local league players seeing 15 point something million in their account?
Wow.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Maybe it's just few of us that are that have been in the league for long, maybe that has businesses that can even say that they have made up to that kind of money. And it will not be up to 5 local league players that can achieve that. So Governor Yeso Wike, what he have done, he have set a record that nobody have ever set that kind of record. I will always appreciate him. He's a good man. He's a good man. He's a man of his word. The boys are very happy. As you can see, the boys are very happy. Family calling you, celebrating with you is joy. Okay. I think the Christmas is just awesome for us.
So what are you promising? What are the players promising the people of Port Harcourt now in the Confederation Cup? What are you promising?
Yes, we don't have any excuse than to go hard. We'll qualify from the group and go for the Confederation Cup.
Okay, you qualify from the group and go on. Okay, he's still there.
Yes. We'll qualify for the group and we'll go for the Confederation Cup trophy. And we'll get it right.
Okay, it is the World Cup has just ended. Also, let me ask you the final question. Who is the greatest player to you in the world, in the world of football, in the history of football? Who is the greatest player?
In the history of football, there is no player like Messi. Messi is a beyond human. He's gifted.
He's gifted. Thank you very much, Justin. Then we're coming to you guys, and I want to see every Nigerian football team happy the way you guys are happy in Port Harcourt. Your friends in Boko, your friends in Maiduguri, your friends in Kano, in Sunshine Stars, every other place. We want to see that place. The Nigerian player is well taken care of. Thank you for being part of the show.
Thank you very much. God bless.
Bless you. All right, that is the captain of Rivers United who just joined us to bring that news. He said they are dancing in their camp, that they have never seen something like this before. The governor promised them that he will give them that, and then he has just done that for them. 15.6 million, that is $20,000 right into their account for every player, not for the team, for one player. That is what each and every one received for winning the league, the MPFL. And ironically, Rivers United did not win a kobo from winning the league. The club did not win anything. They gave them they won a trophy, but that trophy came without shishi. Sorry, that's the reality on the ground. In the past 3, 4, 5 seasons, know that the club have been winning the league, they've been winning the FA Cup. I think that you heard him, but they said it's audio. They've been winning audio. When you win the league, it is audio.
I know.
And you understand? That is why what we are seeing there. Moise, let's go back to Moise. Moise there with Moise is still right there. Moise. What do you see? You had the captain of Rivers United. I was even during the week. I don't know. I know you follow the league so well, so that is why I want to ask you questions. I know you enlighten us. Are there teams that don't pay salaries during off season? Because I hear not all the clubs that even when the season is not on, they don't pay salaries. It is when the clubs come back that they pay them salaries. I don't know if you can confirm this. I had this, and somebody said that is a position of this. Can you enlighten us if you have any idea on this?
I do, and to a large extent, whoever said that to you is not far-fetched from the truth. But sometimes you have to look at the contract which the players sign.
Okay.
Even in developed countries like Saudi Arabia, if you sign a 1-year contract, your contract will run for 10 months.
Okay.
So the remaining 2 months when you are off season, you don't get paid. I know that for fact. I have seen contract of players. Some contracts are only for when the season is on. And in the NPFL, some players signed 1-year contracts. Those ones I know I've seen a couple. After the expiration of your contract, you are not entitled to salary. But even those who are still at the club, there are some clubs in the NPFL which I can't mention names because I haven't confirmed yet. And with all due respect to our players, we know our teams financially can do better. But sometimes our players too will not tell you some of the things that you need to hear. I mean, they are very, very economical with the truth. So if I'm not seeing your contract that you still have a running contract with the club, it's going to be very difficult for me to believe that the club are not paying you. So I won't say what I have not confirmed, but what I know is most deals in the NPFL are 1-year contracts. So if your 1-year contract runs for 10 months, and our 1-year contract in the Nigerian Professional Football League is usually to the last game of the season. So when the last ball in the season is kicked, it is assumed that your contract has become null and void. So around that stage, you are not entitled to salary. That's the least that I know of, and it's not just peculiar to Nigeria alone. In the Gulf area, it's always like that. Their contract usually signed for 10 months. 10 months. That's what they normally sign for. But if you have a 2-year deal,
if you have more than a year, if you have like 2 or 3 years contract, I mean, it won't affect you.
No, it will not. It will not. In the Gulf region, it will not. If you have a 2 years contract, it will not break for 2 months. If you have a 3 years contract, it will not break. It will be smooth running. But I know for sure that their contract, and most times in the Gulf region, their contract are always subjected to several funny clauses. You know, that's why sometimes I pity our NPFL players who run abroad. That's why you see a lot of them beating a retreat almost immediately. I mean, there's always the option of, at the end of the season, we sit down and revise your contract. We sit down and look at other options, either terminating your contract. I think Igalo has been the most successful Nigerian player in the Gulf region because even Ahmed Musa too couldn't survive it. Yakuba Egbeni didn't survive it. Even the legendary Austin Okocha too didn't survive it because their contract are always subject to review after 1 year. I mean, John Obi Mikel too. I mean, he didn't survive it. I mean, Godfrey Obapona too didn't survive it. So it's not just even Ogenyo Nazi didn't survive it. Just go down memory lane. You see a lot of Nigerian players. Show Abdullah played in Kuwait for 1 year. I mean, the Gulf region is usually like that, and most of the Nigerian team. You know, sometimes I do say this: our teams don't usually pick examples from those who are doing things correctly. They pick examples from those that they can use as excuses, because I honestly think that is not how to go about it.
Okay, yeah, you are still with us. If my producer will allow, maybe we can start taking calls. It is we thought we'd open the lines earlier today so that you guys can join us. We can have a feel of what is going on. But we have Moise right there. We've had Festus Austin, who is the captain of Rivers United, telling us, you know, how beautiful it is. Moise, now let's go back to the World Cup. Let's have your take on the African teams. We've seen how far Morocco went, but the other African teams, how do you assess them? At least for this one, they all went with African coaches, and there is no African team that did not win at least a single match in the competition. What is your overall assessment? Hello, Moise.
I think they all went with Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, go on. Very clear.
They all went with celebrated African coaches. For instance, Walid Regraoui, the Moroccan coach, is not your regular African coach. Led without Casablanca to glory, and born in France. He was even a part of the Zoom section that Mikel Arteta did a few years ago after beating Manchester City in the FA Cup. Walid holds a UEFA Pro license. He has even worked in Saudi Arabia before. So he's a well-traveled coach. He's not your local kind of coach that my honorable would just, or Ken Ochonogo would tell me because he played for the Super Eagles, he's good enough to coach the Nigerian national team. Stop putting me on
the stage. I don't understand why I remain your reference point.
No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You are the eldest here. Then you look at Otto Addo. You look at Otto Addo, he's working with Borussia Dortmund. He's working with Borussia Dortmund. He's not your average coach as well. You know, he's been there, done that. And then you look at Rigobert Song. If you have been following the Cameroonian under-23, you will agree with me that Rigobert Song did wonderful jobs with the Cameroonian under-23. And then if you know Aliou Cisse very well, he's been around for the Senegalese team too. He moved from the under-23. And Aliou Cisse is just like Walid too. He was born in France, grew up in France, played for Senegal for a while, went back to France, got his coaching badges, did some little internship in France and all that. So you see, these African coaches are well prepared. They were not just picked from the streets. They were not just picked because they carry an African passport. And the performance of that team tells you that these coaches are well and up to date with the latest coaching principles that abound. Morocco went far. It was intentional. They planned it. They got it. They deserve it. But I'll tell you, other Africans too did make a splash. And for the first time in a very long time, the least amount of players born abroad that each African team had was at least 6. All of them looked for players. In the Moroccan team we were celebrating today had 15 players. 15 players. 15 who were not born in Morocco or who had played for other countries before switching allegiance to Morocco.
Okay, Maurice, hold it on there because we have a Mohammed on the line. He's from Lagos. Hello, Mohammed. Hello, Mohammed. We lost the call. We lost the call. So, Maurice, go ahead. Go ahead, Maurice.
14 players who were either born in France or played for other countries before switching back to the French national team. The Tunisian team had 9 players who were born abroad and later decided to switch allegiance back to Tunisia. The clincher, the shocker among all of this is Ghana. Ghana, for the first time, had 7 players who were born abroad and decided to come. 8 players who were born abroad and decided to come back and then play for the Ghanaian national. Same goes as well for even there is no African team at that World Cup that didn't have at least 8 players who were born abroad. Maybe we should go by that principle, but the first thing first is get a very good coach that will be able to blend these players with the ones that you raise from your own system and your own country.
Okay, let's go to Benin because we have a caller on the line. Hello.
Mike, calling from Benin.
Hello, Mike. How are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you for the opportunity to air.
Okay.
The presenter from Kaduna, he just spoke my mind. Seriously, I must confess, the Amaju Pinnick administration did not do well for Nigeria football, I must confess. Because if you look at what Morocco did at the World Cup, if you remember, even their ladies won the Women Nations League, which is exclusive right of Nigeria. Because we have won it 7 times, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
so for them to win, it shows that there is something they are doing on
they won the club. They won the women champion. They won the Women Champions League. Okay. The South Africans won the.
I want to make an example of the friendly we played with Portugal.
Yeah.
That I was highly disappointed because Nigeria was not going to the World Cup. We were playing Portugal for a friendly match. The Portuguese were heading to the World Cup, but yet they defeated the Super Eagles by 4 goals to. They're very cautious playing with Nigeria. Yes, they were defeated 4-0. And the same Egypt that did not go to the World Cup played Belgium at that friendly and they defeated Belgium. Yes, I was not happy when I was watching this World Cup. I was watching it and unhappy Nigerian because Nigeria is a country. We have the talent. I think somebody like Obafemi Martins, if I'm not mistaken, somebody told me that was discovered in our local league. There are talents in this country. There are so many Messi, so many Ronaldo in Nigeria, I must confess. But administratively, we are not able to get things right. I don't know what the problem is. If Morocco, that has not even won, how many Nations Cup have Morocco won? They have not even won the Nations Cup that Egypt and Nigeria have even won. I think they have won it all.
Yeah, they won it. Just a solitary win. Yeah.
We just need to get it right administratively. That's the problem.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tunogo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Mike said it is administration. I remember there was this time that the coach of the under-17 was asked to go, and then I tell you this, the wife of the coach said, instead of changing the coach, let's change the administrators. It happens in Nigeria as well. It's not the first time somebody is saying that. Moise is still there shooting from the hips as usual from Kaduna. But Moise, hold on. I want to ask the Catalan because I also ask because I exchanged something with you and you tried to do some explanation. I was trying to convey between whether it is Arabic or Islamic on the the rope that Messi wore. But then the Catalan has a story for us. You said Messi practically walked on his barefoot,
yes.
After before the celebration. What happened there?
Well, it was rumored that his wife, Antonella, took his boots away from him. Now, basically, throughout the entire duration of the tournament, Messi wore special boots at the World Cup. But this particular one had the names of his wife and his children on it. And, of course, their dates of birth and all of that, especially made by his sponsors. And then Messi is known to give out jerseys. Almost every player does it. But then again, every player is not Lionel Messi. For his 1,000 game, for instance, against Australia, where he scored in that one, he gave out his jersey to an Aussie player, Cameron Delvin, who didn't even play a single match during the entire tournament. The guy instantly became a hero just because he got Lionel Messi's jersey that he used to play.
So how did he get
his 1,000 game? He literally just walked up to Messi after the game because he said he had been noticing that the fact that no other player on the team had gone to meet Messi, to ask for his jersey. So he just tried his luck and went and he said, okay, meet you in the locker room, meet you in the dressing room, and they exchanged the jerseys and they took pictures. Now he said he didn't even believe Messi was going to take his jersey from him. He just wanted Lionel Messi's jersey. At the moment he heard in Australia that he had gotten the jersey, now he started getting calls that he should keep that jersey, and nothing was happening to the jersey. But as we speak now, that jersey is locked away in the vault in the bank somewhere in Australia. And then
what's so special about that jersey?
For instance, we talked about it before. In 1986, a certain Diego Armando Maradona scored the famous hand of God against England. That jersey was auctioned for $9.6 million. The jersey he wore on that day was auctioned for $9.6 million.
The jersey used in cheating?
Well, that would like to. Somebody saw him to pay nearly $10 million
for
that
Lagos,
jersey. Ahmed is calling from
Lagos. Ahmed, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, go on.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Compliment of the season. Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas, Ahmed. Merry Christmas.
Contribution to your topic. Let me first of all Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you are clear. Go on.
Okay. Yes, first and foremost, the NFF president, the former NFF president, Phoenix, for them to let this man go, Genetra, was a big blow to our football.
Okay.
If you look at what Genetra was trying to do to our football, was a replica of what the Moroccans did. And look at where you allowed him to go and do what he needs to do. Just go to Germany. Coaches spent close to 15, 20 years in Germany. Go to the history of German football. At least they've not had more than 10 to 12 coaches that have coached the national team since inception. Ample time to do what they need to do. And bringing in coaches in the middle of tournaments is not the best for our football. We need to get it right from the beginning. Therefore, the league, we need to get sponsors. The government needs to answer football. Private sector should come in. Once private sector comes in, the investor wants to see the result for his money. We should let government out of football so that things can move. That's how it's done in the UK, in Germany, in France, in Italy. So that is how our football can move forward. My brother, we have the talent. We have more than Messi in Nigeria. We have more than Ronaldo in Nigeria. I agree with that presenter. I agree with all of you over there. But we need to get it right.
Ahmed, who is your GOAT?
I like your program.
Who is your GOAT? Don't go on the answer. Who is your GOAT, Ahmed?
That?
Who is your GOAT? Who is your football GOAT?
You mean my favorite player?
Your greatest footballer of all time, the GOAT.
Leonardo Andre Messi.
Aha, all of you. Okay, thank you. You give us all his name. Most of us just know his don't is Andre is his middle name. Thank you.
Lionel Andrew Messi is the greatest player of all time now. Let people know. He won the under-20. He won the Olympics.
Wow.
League. He won Ballon d'Or. He won Super Cup. He won La Liga. He won French League, and he won the World Cup last week Sunday.
Yeah.
18th of December, 2022. He's the player I love so much.
All right, thank you, Ahmed. Thank you very much. He's the greatest player of all time. Cemented, they are saying. One day we are going to devote this show to that issue. It is controversial, it is subjective, and then I like to play the devil's advocate. Okpe is not on the show today, that's why I'm just skipping this. But when Okpe comes, I know himself and Catalan, they come from the other extremes of this particular thing. Where is Maurice still there? Maurice has gone. Has Maurice gone? Maurice is there.
I'm with you.
I know we can't let you go that way. Okay, Maurice, before we take you, there was a pre-season tournament that took place in Lagos. Because we're talking about this. In fact, Ahmed who just spoke now, talked about investment and other thing. Maurice, how excited are you when you heard that for the pre-season tournament, the winner, the winner in this case became 3SC up shooting. They went on with 100 million pounds, naira, not pounds, please, before somebody go down and pick them there. 100 million pounds, appearance fee of 10 million pounds. It is a sign of good things to come. 10 million naira. What does it mean with pounds these days? I don't understand. Let's start spending naira. I'm sorry. Maurice, is this a sign of good things to come? Okay, but before that, I think we have another caller on the line. We are going straight to where? Abuja. All right. Let's Stephen, how are you? Maurice, hold on. Let's take from Stephen. Hello, Stephen. How are you?
End of the season. Happy New Year.
Same to you. Merry Christmas. Yeah.
All right. A quick one, so that we don't keep our guests from Kaduna waiting.
Yeah.
I like your Christmas. I think I like your Christmas cap. Maybe you give it to me after the show.
I will channel it down to you.
You just will be through DHL to Abuja. All right. The guy in Kaduna, I think I don't know him. He doesn't know me. I'm not being political here. Let the Nigerian Football Association bring him into the new team, even if he's going to be as a consultant. Because the guy has deep knowledge. In fact, the way our football would change, they should consult him. And then also to you and the guests in the studio, you guys have analyzed, I love the way you analyze sporting activities, smiling and also passing of information. So I want to say this quickly. The truth of the matter is this. Nigerian problem is not tied to leadership in question. He made mention of 8 years of Ahmadu Pinnick and all that. Sometimes you people don't know the pressure within an executive office. Influences, interferences is one of the major problems we have in Nigeria football. Okay. And that is the reason why proper and qualified players are not picked. So when you are giving, you see, let them even bring a good coach from anywhere, be it black or white. Interference will not allow the coach to function.
Work.
And the issue of inconsistency, you keep changing. Look at the Senegal coach for how many years? You don't change people from time to time. When you change, you disrupt. And that's the reason why a proper plan, a foundation, when you are laying a foundation, it takes years to build. If we're going to bring in any good coach in Nigeria, let's avoid interferences and then allow the person, even if he fails or not, allow the person to build for a certain time. If you give the person more time and he doesn't deliver, then that allows the person to go. Rome is not built in a day. And also that's for the Nigerian stuff. Then for that guy in Kaduna, please, they should bring the guy in either as a consultant or they should involve. You see, the problem with Nigerians is we know people that know
Steven, tell the guy in Kaduna to stop hitting at me. If you stop hitting at me, then I know what to talk. I will talk in his favor.
Okay. Thank you very much. much. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Stevie. Thank you. Let's go to the guy in Canada, Moise. Moise, see, this is the master is I'm your elder, but then you keep on hitting and hitting and hitting. But let me just take them because this is very key. I would have brought this issue since. I also tied down to what I was trying to ask you before. You know, there are 100 million, in fact, that's 140 million that came in because of a president tournament where we've not been seeing money all this while. There is this talk about the abridged league. For all intent and purpose, I think that is what is going to happen, you know, come January next year. And the logic I'm hearing is that, you know, they want to, because of the short time, they want to make sure that, you know, the league ends in May. And I don't know your take on this, that, you know, you have, instead of traveling, you have about 9 teams from the north and then 11 teams from the south. So instead of traveling 10 times or 9 times, you travel about 4 times, and then, you know, you got this and that, you have your Super 6, and then from there you decide who the champion of the league is going to be. Moise, what is your take on this?
To be very honest with you, abridged league is not even an issue. But when you try to hide behind running an abridged league by saying you want to unify our calendar with that of European countries and you want to end it in May, I begin to smell a rat. European season usually ends in June, July. So what's the haste in trying to end the league in May? And some school of thought will tell you is because they want to deliver the league in time before the minister leaves office as a minister, because the entire interim management committee team we are seeing now is a brain shot of the Minister for Youth and Sports. So he wants to be the one to share in their success, that it will be said that he ushered in a new era for Nigerian Football League. He has said it several that that's what he wants to achieve. But I'll tell you this. I love the fact that we were considering playing an abridged league. I've said it severally. Nigeria is too big. The way of transportation our transportation system is not matured enough for we to play this game at the national level. Abridged is the way to go. I have been saying this consistently. I mean, because for some of us who are in the north here, before teams you know in the north, for instance, a team, I'm not sure there's any part of Nigeria which is closer to Taraba. I'm not sure. I stand corrected. Taraba is like on its own. Taraba is like
it's like a country of its own.
On its own. So imagine Taraba United traveling to Lagos to go and play against MFM. Look at the distance they will have to cover. They might spend 2, 3 days, 4 days on the road. In other countries where we had this, I mean, the other day I was speaking to a Super Eagles player. He was at the airport. They were traveling to go and play a game. In 30 minutes time, he called me that they're already there. But that when they are coming back, they will not have flights. So they are going to use the train, and it will take them like 2 hours. So give or take, he left his state, returned back to his state after a game, 90 minutes, extra time inclusive and everything, and he didn't spend up to 24 hours. He was back at his base. You can't have that here in Nigeria. We don't have the rail system working. We don't have the flight system isn't working. Our roads are not the best of roads. These players don't travel in the best of vehicles. They don't get the best of food on their way. And all of these things will affect productivity. But when you have an abridged league, the northern zone and the southern zone, you travel from, I've done it once, you travel from, say, Taraba to Kaduna, you spend a day. You play the game the next day, you leave the other day, you arrive at your destination. So give or take, you had like 2.5 days on the road. It isn't as stressful as spending 5 days on the road. And it's why sometimes you see in the MPFL, you have several outstanding games. Some teams will have vehicle breakdown. Some teams will have rumor of robbery attack. Some teams will have issues of hold up, issues of this, so they will get into their state on the day of the game. How can they play? We have to consider that seriously.
All right, Moise, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. It's been a while you've been here, but be assured that in 2023, I won't allow you to rest. You were part of this and part of every journey that we are going through. Thank you. Merry Christmas once more. And I hope your team
Merry Christmas to you.
Your team fans in Kaduna, and let them keep our team, let me just stop it that way.
Merry Christmas to you, and of course, I never knew you could wear a nice hat like this. Waving it. I'll send you my address now. The hat you're wearing. I'll keep it in my museum.
I'll wave it.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Maurice. Okay, we are going. you had ways about the abridged league, and then what he said in support of it?
Yes, 100%. I've been to the north like twice, and I had to go by road, Ken. Trust me, it was not funny. The risk involved, the stress involved, and then players are supposed to come out and perform optimally to be a problem. And then I've heard a lot of good news about the past 1 week, but this with Rivers United just gladdens my heart.
Yeah.
We've been on this show multiple times
when we're on the street fighting
but I'm hearing this and I'm so proud of them.
Yeah.
So kudos to the governor.
Kudos to Rivers State government for doing this, and we hope that one day Rivers State and other states will make those clubs also be self-sufficient, that they can generate such funds to do all this. But this is a way to start. This is a way to to motivate your staff. And like we are going, it is Christmas. He didn't talk about that issue, but we'll talk it again next week when coming. That somebody has said, Lionel Messi, that rope they gave to you, I'm giving you $1 million. $1 million to people have it. I'm telling you, someday somebody will ask me for $1 million to take this hat. That is the rope. That is the rope. And a lawyer says, I need it. I need it for $1 million. And they might look, if it's after 7 days, this thing costs $1 million. What will it cost after 7 years? I tell you, that is appreciation for you. I'm Ken Ochonogo. Have a very wonderful Christmas. It is the most wonderful time of the year. We'll drop the phone, drop the Bible, man. That's it.